Good morning vlog. It's about 7:30. I woke up about an hour ago, started to go through my morning routine, got all that stuff done, coffee made, butter added to it. It is Sunday that I'm filming this, although it won't be Sunday when this comes out, and I wanted to go ahead and show you kind of a typical Sunday morning. What happens when I go to church, what things I set up, where I kind of participate. I won't be able to show you everything because I'm not running the board like I normally do on Sunday late services, but at least I'll be able to show you some behind the scenes on how I get the podcast set up that I edit each week. And actually, I'm really excited because I'm going to be meeting with someone at church that's looking to start their own podcast for another event that they host once a month. They want to record it and turn that into a podcast. So I'll be happy to provide some advice on how they can get started there. And I'm trying not to get too loud because my wife is still sleeping. Normally I leave the bathroom light in our bedroom on, just so it helps her wake up in the morning because I wake up before her and it's easier for me to wake up. But I forgot that rule doesn't apply on weekends. So yesterday I had a very cranky wife in the morning by waking her up too early. So I'm trying to respect her wishes and keep it dark in there for her. Something that I'm trying to get more into the habit of using while on my iPad is the multitasking functionality that iOS has integrated into it for the past couple of years. On the iPad, it's really nice now because you can have not only apps side by side, but you can actually overlay another app if it supports it. So what I have here are a couple of windows open. I have my OneNote that I'm doing my draft for blog posts, and then I have Safari over here for research, but then also I can go into here and I long press on this, and if I hold it in between the two apps, I can actually pop this over and it'll overlay between all three, between the two apps below. So now I can tweet, write, and research all at the same time. Yay. Getting ready to go to church, and while I was writing, something very simple but impactful happened on Twitter. So I took a couple of minutes to go to Gary Vee's podcast page in iTunes, and I left a review and tweeted at Gary Vaynerchuk that I did because he asked me to. He asked me to in his podcast, and he's given me so much value and so much great content that I've finally felt compelled to. Well, he's given me so much, I might as well give back a little bit to him. And not even I was afraid that he wouldn't even really see the tweet. I know he reads his tweets. He reads all of his tweets. But I didn't think he would reply anytime soon, and not even 10 minutes later he sent a direct reply to me that says that he sent me a direct reply that said, "I appreciate it, Phil." And just seeing that happen in real time, knowing that he read it, he read my tweet, took just 30 seconds out of his incredibly busy day, because he's literally scheduled by the minute from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next day. His entire schedule's filled, and him just knowing that he's so busy but still takes the time out of that busy day to just reply to some random stranger on the internet, let alone some guy in Texas. It's really impactful and shows that he really is walking what he's talking, and not just spouting it off. So that was some great morning inspiration, and a good way to start the day. Made it to church a little early. I'm going to see if I can find whoever I'm supposed to meet and help her through the process that I go through on making the podcast, and then also set up the podcast equipment. So I'll take you guys along for the ride. Let's see, I think I saw her. I can go catch her. Hey. I know, right? Hey. How's it going? Good to see you. But yeah, okay.
How long does it take to edit?
To edit? It depends on how clean you want the end result to sound.
Okay.
Are you wanting to record only the main speaker and?
Yeah, it's just. Well, I mean, I guess just like you do for Pastor Audie. I know people ask questions, but I think she's going to try to repeat.
Okay. Oh, go ahead first. So you want to do it more like this class setting
Exactly,
where
yeah.
others will be replying, and you want to record their replies as well.
They may speak up and say something. They may not.
Okay.
So we don't know.
So, well, I can tell you that whenever I record the podcast, whenever I edit the podcast, it takes me about 3 times as long as the audio length that I originally recorded.
Okay.
So it takes about 2.5, 3 hours or so. But then again, that's because I'm going in really in depth, removing like some very loud breaths that the microphone may catch, removing some ums and uhs and things like that, and then having to do some boosting of the class whenever they speak up and do some replies. And yeah, there's a lot of like post-processing that goes into it.
Okay.
I know you saw like the video that I sent you earlier, and that's just like really with basic operation of the recorder that I use.
Okay.
But let's see. Let me see if I can get in here.
Staff key or is it?
This is a different key.
Okay.
I'm actually writing a blog post about this on how to actually start a podcast.
Oh yes.
And
Good.
so, I can go more in depth on the editing software.
Okay.
There are a couple of different options. Like, are you wanting to try to edit it yourself?
I don't know that
or
I would have that, that skill.
Now
but,
I can try to help out.
Okay.
Where I can, but.
I mean, I'm happy to learn, but I'm hoping maybe I can find a woman who's willing to, who would have time to
and I've actually already recorded basically a 3-hour video of me editing an entire episode of Pastor Audie's class.
Okay.
So, and I need to upload that on YouTube as well.
Okay.
But I mean, I won't have it be like a full 3-hour
Yes.
upload. It'll probably be more like an hour or so, because I do talk at the beginning and then I kind of just fast forward through because it's a lot of repetition. So, but I need to get more into the process of being a few episodes ahead. And when we took that break during the winter, that kind of depleted our reserves, so to speak. So when we're done with the current series that we're doing right now, then we're going to go a few episodes ahead. So there are a few different audio editing pieces of software that you can use. One of the free ones is called Audacity. That one will allow you to cut and trim the audio. You can actually just in case Gina gets a little bit too close to somebody while they're saying something private, you can just cut that out.
Okay.
If Gina or somebody can like make a note of how long, like generally the area of how deep into the recording you are. That way it'll help you on the post-processing side to be like, okay, this is around the area, let me listen to like 10 minutes and see where it is, and I can just cut that out.
Okay. Is she?
And the system that I have is I never publish without Pastor Audie's sign off.
Yes.
So what I would recommend, if you're going to be editing or whomever, they check with Gina first if she's going to be leading. Say, hey Gina, can you like just go through this entire episode? I know it's going to be tough listening to yourself talk, but just go through this episode and give me like any edits in case you want me to, because she should have the final say, I think, on what should go in there, because she has the most context of like, okay, this is a little bit private, we need to take that out. So that's
very good.
That's kind of the thing that I would do. And then once you make those final edits, send it back off. It goes for approval. and then she approves, and then you post it again.
Very good.
Aside from just editing the podcast, you'd also need somewhere where you can host the podcast files and like a website and whatnot.
Well, we're creating a website for Kingdom Women.
Okay.
But I was telling you they wanted it private, but if we are not going to be able to hear any of the other women, just Gina,
Right.
I think we would be okay public.
Okay doing that, yeah.
But that's what some of them were concerned about. But if we're
Right.
not recording them, then...
Yeah. And what I was going to say is that you may want to start doing like cold recordings and whatnot, kind of get them acquainted with the idea of being on record. So it's an approach that we took whenever we were doing the podcast from Pastor Audie's. What we did a lot of dry runs of just going through the motions like we were publishing the podcast, but not publishing it at first. We did it for about a month, where it's just getting people acquainted with a recording device being in the room, and that it's on and recording, but we don't publish the audio at all. And then after about a month or so, we started to publish the podcast officially. And I think that really helped get people used to the idea. You can have people in the class also subscribe to the podcast, and then that way they will also have perspective. Oh, this is what it sounds like, and this is what happens during it. And also, just I know that people may want to not be as may want to be reserved or whatever, because they're afraid, like, oh, what if I say it gets picked up by my next door neighbor or whatever. Odds are, they aren't listening to that podcast. And from my perspective, the trade-off of, I'm fearful of what, somebody in this small niche community might think, when at the same time it has the impact of potentially reaching somebody worldwide.
Exactly.
And even if that does, say, offend somebody worldwide, they don't really know who Carol is in Texas, or who, especially now that we're going through the Ten Commandments, is that these are very incredibly sensitive subjects, especially the Sixth Commandment that we're going through right now. And Pastor Audie really approaches it with a great level of sensitivity, but at the same time firmness. And I think that this is really a good test to show we can still talk about these sensitive, controversial subjects, but still be respectful of one another, and be, in my opinion, more open-minded to arguments against our beliefs. So, this is the perfect setting. You can reach me on Facebook Messenger. I don't know if you have my number to text me if you need to.
I can add it on.
Yeah, and I can send you all that information on Facebook, including my email and whatnot. And I can show you the services that I use and point you to the blog posts that I'll be writing, because I'm I have all these ideas going through my head, and I'm this is perfect stuff that I just need to put down on paper and publish onto my blog, and then I can point people to it, like I pointed you to that video.
That was good too.
So, and you can have that for reference every single time, and I'll reference.
Around 11:15 on February 23rd is when we'll be.
Okay, February 23rd. I'll make sure to put that down on my calendar, just to make sure. Hey, you need any extra help? I'm good. So you want to advertise a meetup, but keep it with just the group. With just the group.
Should we keep that with Facebook?
I would probably. I think you would want to do that on Facebook. Have a Facebook group. Just have a Facebook community just for the group,
and we do have
and then
that.
A Facebook. You could potentially even make a Facebook group for the community as well, outside of the local group.
Oh, okay.
So that might be something interesting that you want to try out. If they don't want Facebook, I would say sign up for an email newsletter.
Okay.
Use email. Everybody hopefully has email.
Yeah.
And that would probably be the best way to get in contact with everyone in the group.
Or if I had, we'll see how many sign up for each thing today.
Yeah.
And
That's what I would recommend. But Squarespace for sure, for kind of an all-in-one solution. That's what I use. I can't speak much to Wix and what they support, but I know with Squarespace at least they have a lot of tutorials online as well that show they show you step by step how to make a podcast page on your Squarespace site, and they do like a 2-week free trial, and I think it's $18 a month for their lowest tier. But if you buy it by the year, then it goes down to I think like either $16 or $14 a month. But that's what I use, and I haven't really gone anywhere else. Definitely more for a hands-off approach. I use WordPress for the Messiah podcast, but that's more of a cost-saving measure because I can host a website for $8 a month there. But it's a little bit more technical as well. It's not as easy of an interface as Squarespace.
Into remarriage. And then another book, this is kind of an old book that's been around a lot, but I love it. It's called After the Affair. For people that have gone through an affair in the marriage, there's very little out there, resource-wise, that helps people walk through the process of rebuilding. And then she responds with respect. So love and respect, love and respect, love and respect. And when that's a continuous thing, there's no breakage, there's no indication of where one ends and the other begins. Now you got the recipe for 50 years happily. It's not rocket science, right?
Good podcast recording session today. Really enjoyed the class, enjoyed the engagement. We finished up the 6th commandment finally after about like 4 or 5 weeks. So now I'm just going to put all the equipment up and get the audio files to put on the podcast later. Actually, I'm talking to my vlog, so in a way I'm talking to myself, but I'm kind of going through the process of documenting my life day by day and then uploading it on YouTube.
Oh, so when I just butt in just now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Just like that.
Me butting in.
Yes. Say hi, Pastor Hadi.
Hi, Pastor Hadi.
All right, so going back over here and putting everything back up. I've already changed out the SD card so I can take the audio home with me. I just need to unlock the cabinet here and put in, change out some of the batteries and put in everything back in its place. Put some batteries in to charge during the class, and now they are fully charged and ready to be swapped out so we have fresh batteries for next week. So swapped out the batteries. I checked the batteries on the microphone here. It looks like it'll be good for another week or two, and then I'll charge those. So I'm going to turn this guy back off, and I'm going to set these guys on the wall to charge. There we go. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There we go. 3 lights, charging. It's all good. And put this stuff back up into here, and I'll lock it up, and we'll be good to go. Usually I do this part after late service, but because I don't have, wrong one. But because I don't have to do the soundboard today, I decided to do it right after the Bible study class. But now I'm late to late service.
Use your freedom to love others. Use your freedom to serve others. Use your freedom to give to others. Use your freedom to care about others. You see, it's because of the love of Jesus for you. That's why. In his word, he says that he gives all things that we need to be able to help others around us. You have everything you need to be because of Jesus. And that's why I encourage you today to serve others. I encourage you to show up and help others. I encourage you to love others. I encourage you to care for others. I encourage you to give of yourself. Jesus says that it is more blessed to give than to receive. You're going to experience that abundantly when you are doing things to help other people who are around you. And you know, one day, give us your hearts, let us not lift our souls to another, and promise me a generation to see thy glory. Hallelujah, he reigns, it's all that you can sing glory, glory. Hallelujah, he reigns, he reigns. And he was the four winds, caught up in the heavenly sound. Of all the powers, darkness, and
So after service now, it's a good thing that I went in when I did, because the previous sound guy ended up was sick this morning. So I'm glad I was able to come in and fill in and take over and operate the soundboard. That's one of my more what's the word? Anyway, I like doing it. And listening to the pastor's sermon today was really appropriate. We're talking about using our hands for service, and I just really like using the talents that I have technical wise to operate the soundboard, to get the podcast up and running, and teaching others how to do it. So I'm really happy to have met with Ellen earlier today to go over and help teach her how she can start getting the ball rolling to making her own podcast for the Bible study group that she helps facilitate. But now it's time to either go get something to eat or make something and prepare for the superb owl that comes later tonight. It's going to be a hoot. Before running back to home and prepping for the superb owl and its arrival, we need to go to the grocery store and pick up some stuff. So we're going to pick up some taco preparation stuff, because I'm going to be making carnitas. It's going to be delicious. And so we start our journey in the land of groceries. Do we need bread? I don't think we need bread. I'm not be eating any, so it's for you. Get a baguette. All right. Okay. Ooh, habanero jack. That'd be good to try out. Let's do it. It's a good way to try some out of the ordinary cheeses that you wouldn't normally get. Some Fontina. That sounds good.
Yeah, good.
It's a little thing where they have the extra parts of the cheese wheel that they can't really package fully, so they offer it at a slight discount. While you're doing that, I'm going to divide and conquer and get some cilantro and an onion. So here we go to the grocery aisle, the vegetables. Seems a little crowded over by the cilantro where I'm looking to get, so I'm grabbing some white onion. Going to be picking up some keto taco shells, also known as romaine lettuce. I think we do have garlic, but I'm getting some cilantro. 59 cents. Do you want me to get two or just one?
One should do it, because usually I'll need half of that, and I won't need half of that.
Okay, cool. Well, there we go. Onward! I feel very inadequate to pick out the proper avocado. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but I can use some today. looks like I was looking in the wrong ones. So here are the proper ones that I need. There.
And you had
Thank
one
you.
job.
I know, I had one job and I failed miserably. Some time to check some eggs here, making sure none are cracked or stuck to the bottom. Nope. Okay, looks like they're all in good condition. So this is a good one. Good to go forth. Look at the manager's special stuff. What is this? Is this ground turkey? It is ground turkey. I'm gonna get a couple of these. We'll freeze one and maybe cook another. Okay, I want to get one more.
Okay,
So.
you keep this for a second.
Yeah. So I can do the thing. So we are now ready to go check out and start cooking. I think we're going to have a pretty good spread for this coming Superb Owl. I think the Superb Owl will be pleased. Why aren't you as happy for the Superb Owl, Amanda?
One, because you're being weird calling it the Superb Owl. Two, because I don't like football.
I'm pretty unenthusiastic for this game as well, but oh well. Got the groceries, now it's time to cook it all. Cloudy sky outside. Smells like cat food. Can't get over it. Why does it smell like cat food, Amanda?
I don't know, Phil. Why does it smell like cat food?
I don't know. Anyway. Now I gotta clean up a little bit before our guests arrive. Means tackling the dishwasher. We already have food going, and now it's time to multitask. Amanda's making some deviled eggs over there. We have shrimp also! Shrimp cocktail! Oh my gosh! We're getting fancy up in here. Getting some deviled eggs done up in here. Already got it mixed. Added some mayo, mustard, pepper, and of course, salt. It's really more to taste, and I usually also add some dill relish, but unfortunately we don't have that. Go. Oh, look at my wife being crafty. She's been really wanting to use these nozzle things for a while. Well, you're doing a good job, sweetheart.
Thanks, dear.
Even though you hate these things.
I don't even like them.
They are delicious, though. It's okay to be wrong. Added a nice spicy surprise to a few of these deviled eggs. Oh, they look delicious. Looking forward to nomming on them. Dividing and conquering on a meat and cheese plate right now. I'm doing the meat part. I got some salami here, and I got some summer sausage, pepperoni, pre-sliced, woot, win. And then my wife Amanda's tag teaming with the cheese over there, slicing it all up. She's a good cheese cutter. I really don't know how this happens every time Amanda and I host an event, but dang it, we make a lot of food, and I think we have quite a spread here. So we have shrimp, awesome, and we have a awesome cream cheese, avocado spinach dip that she just whipped up on the spot. Delicious. Has some homemade queso. And then these are the fixings for the carnitas that I'm needing to shred in a little bit. We have pork rinds, #keto. And we have deviled eggs and a wonderful meat and cheese plate with Colby Jack, Parmesan it looks like, pepper jack, habanero, and a habanero cheddar jack. Something, whatever it is. I don't know. And we have summer sausage, we have the salami, and we have pepperoni. So either we're gonna have some friends over soon, which some said they are, or Amanda and I are just gonna have a lot of food that we need to space out over the next 2 days. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. What's happening? Oh my gosh. We're about to start the second half of the Super Bowl, and go team, not the Patriots. So Patriots win the Super Bowl. Very sad news. Unenthusiastic still. Cleaned up the spread that we had. Have some leftovers for the beginning of the week. Looking forward to nomming on those. But I guess that takes today to a close. It's time to start a new week at work, a new week to hustle and grind also after work. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.